So in drawing number 2, we went ahead and we took what we'd learned about one-point perspective and we made an actual drawing. Okay, cool. And not only did we make our buildings in one-point perspective, but we also had these interior shapes, like these windows, that followed along. And we used atmospheric perspective. That goes from darker towards the top, towards lighter towards the center, darker at the bottom, lighter towards the center. Cool, right? And we even cast a shadow over here. All good. So now, with the next drawing that we're going to do, it's not really that much more advanced. Well, I should say it's not really that much different in concept. It's just that it's showing you that we can create an interior space, that by using the one-point perspective or any perspective, we can find out where the backs of things are, where the insides of things are, and all that kind of good stuff. And then, just more practice drawing. Okay, cool, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cover this over right here with a fresh piece of paper. And honestly, I'm using it as a little bit of a cheat because I've already worked out, all my ideas and everything works just fine. And I just don't want to take that extra time during the tutorial. So, okay, so the first thing that we've got to do, right, is that we don't start with our ruler, right? We just start with an idea. And so I'm going to go ahead and start sketching out the front of this little shed that I had made. So just nice and light, kind of getting the ideas of what I'm going to have going on here. Okay, maybe something like that. And just a nice low roof here. And here we go. So remember, I can find, if I want to get that peak right in the center, I could just draw one to another. And I think I'll get that pretty close. And, I'll use a ruler to, sort of get everything where it should go. And let's see, we're going to go back this way. And we'll go this way. Okay, and so we'll make this our vanishing point right here, and our horizon line is going to be about here. Okay, cool. And we will end our little shed right here. And we'll put a little interior window right about here, maybe. Cool. Okay, making that little space. Something like that, right? Something, we'll see. Keep it pretty simple. And then we'll make a big old door because I want to be able to show you the inside of things. So I'll make a big old door and use that as my opening. And I'll fake in like a little rollout door because to make swinging doors that would actually be open at an angle or something like that, well, that's a lesson for another day. Okay, so cool. So I've got enough here that I'm going to start maybe getting things all straightened out, right? So now I'll make some corrections. And just like before, I don't actually have to draw all the way back to that little vanishing point. And there. And still want to start drawing, still pretty light. I'm probably drawing a little bit darker now than I would on my own. That's okay. Helps you guys to see it a little bit better. Don't want to draw too dark. Okay, so now on this door, I want to make it, the even, so I'll just do a quick measurement. Say like, okay, it's that far from that side, this far from this side. Okay, and it's good. And I knew it was good because I got that old drawing underneath here. See, I already worked it all out, all on my own. There we go. And we'll put something across right here. Cool. Now, with this, we're going to find out if we've really got that in the center. So we'll go from one corner to the other. And here too, I've got this ruler here. I don't have to draw the whole line. Really, I only have to draw it somewhere near the center, right? See, I'm lazy. Or am I efficient? I'm not sure. But I don't want to do too much erasing. So there's my center. So I could go up from there. Keeping it all straight. Keep your vertical straight. And okay, oh, there's my peak. Needed to go over just a little bit. Okay. And oh, couldn't even see what I was doing there. Maybe right here. Okay. So that's my basically my roof. Okay, cool, good enough. A little bit off. Right there. So now, okay, so now here we go. Let's make the inside of the shed, because that's kind of like the important part, right? Well, obviously what I can do is if I went from this corner and went back, and this corner and went back, I could go from this corner over here and go back. So I'll just go from there and back towards my vanishing point. Okay. So I don't have to keep drawing. I can just go right to there. All right. And if I can go from this point and go back, well, I can go from this point and go back. Okay. And so we're already starting to see where that other wall would be. And so since these are just parallel, I can go right here and just line that up. You see, I could draw all the way there, but that's silly, right? Why would I want to do all that erasing? So there, and I'll just go up, right? And if I've done a good job, then these should line up too. Yeah, so I've done a pretty good job of keeping everything parallel and straight. So even if they're not perfect, they're pretty darn close. Okay, and so, but that's okay. So now, oh, my window right here, we'll get that. Okay, so we've got this here. So for this window, let's straighten it up a little bit. It's a little bit crookedy. So here, and we're going to go here, right? Okay, so that's good. That's the bottom, and then we got the top right up here, and let's see, right about there. Okay, cool. And we'll just put this, I think, yeah, that's fine. I'll just put it right there and there. Remember, our up and downs just go up and down. It's just that simple. And we'll go right here and go right here. And I'm just checking this line against this wall right here. Keep them parallel. Okay, cool. So I've got the window on this side, but I want to put a window on this side as well. So let's see, what can I do? Well, to get my height, remember what I can do is this. I could take this line, and I'm going to take it all the way back to the back of the wall right here. Okay, so it's going all the way back to the back wall. And then I'll just go parallel. And basically I found this height right here. So this height came from here. So now it's on the back wall. Then over to this other side. Boom, there it is. It's just that simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Okay. So we know that's how tall the inside of the window is. And it's got a little bit of a border. I can just fake that. I'll just fake that one right there. Heck, I could even wait until later. But I've already started, so I might as well get it now. So that's that. Now, same thing here. So this here, how tall is it? Well, an easy thing I could do is just continue this line right here back to the back wall. So over here to this side here. Just draw a parallel just that way, nice and straight, nice and horizontal. Right, this has found that point on the back wall. And see, that's my horizon line. Okay, now I've got the inside of the window here, and as long as I'm doing it, I might as well. It's got a little trim on it, so I'll make that as well. Drawing nice and light. Okay, so I got the top and bottom. So, all right, so as far as making the edges over here, well, so this should be parallel, right? So if I go straight across here, so if I've got this nice and parallel, okay, so I think we're something over here now. Nice and parallel. I'm going from this corner right over here. Okay. Okay, so I know that's how far out that window goes. I'm sure there's probably even other ways of finding it than that. And so then we'll also do this back here. And so I'll try and keep it all nice and parallel. And if I wasn't sure about getting this parallel, you know what I could do, right? I could go to the top of the page right here, the top of the paper, and I could just measure down. If I was having a hard time keeping everything straight, so this is right here. I'll just make a little mark right here, and another one right here. And here, actually, I think this will even be a better measurement than my first. And so then I'll just go to where that lines up. You see it's at the top here. And so when that becomes parallel or lines up with this, boom, right there. And so that's what it is. And this window looks like it's a lot longer than this one. But remember, this one is foreshortened. It's in perspective. Okay, good enough. And I think I can just fake the edges. So that gave me the other window. I hope that wasn't too tricky. I just went from here to the back wall and on over. Same thing here to the back wall, over. That gave me my height. Just take it back to the vanishing point. And to get my width here, then it just was also parallel. I just brought it here, here, and here. And if I wasn't able to hold my ruler nice and parallel, what I could do is I could measure. So here, from the top, bottom, where that lined up, here, top, bottom, was the same along those lines. Anyway, so that gave me that window. Okay, so we want to give this building a little bit of width right here. Right? We're going to give it a little bit of thickness. So I'll just arbitrarily say that, okay, we're going to see the edge of the building like this. And so then I can go like this here, line that up with my vanishing point, boop, and so we can see that, okay, I'm going to see just a little bit of the top up here. Okay. We'll give it a little bit of width over here, because if you're seeing the edge of the construction of the building, maybe a little edge here, and that's going to make a big difference. Okay, so once again, I could then just line this up. This is going straight, this here, and it's going to be thin, but that's okay. That little bit right there makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so are we good? Do we have most of our stuff? Kind of. Let's put just a few more things. So in this one, I've got a little path of rocks. Okay, but the rocks aren't totally even, right? So how do we know how they go back? Well, let's say that they're not totally even, but they're close. So let's say I draw one of the flagstones right here. Maybe that's the front one right here, something like that. And I'll just take that back to the vanishing point right here and right here. Okay. And so other rocks, I might not make them totally the same shape or even totally the same, but maybe, close. Gives me something that's really pretty darn close. Because if you were really building a path like this, you'd want it to be relatively close. Righty? Okay. Maybe over here. And then it's coming around. So that's just flat. Or horizontal, I should say. So that's my path that's kind of going around the shed here. Good enough. And I have a fence back here. That's to bring things a little bit closer. So this is not seeing out into infinity. So what I'll do is I'll draw the bottom of the fence down below the horizon line, and that will bring it closer. I'll put it right above those rocks. And how high is the fence? Well, I don't know. We'll just make it about this height up here. And we'll just put a few things just to sort of represent the fence. And you can see how all of a sudden that really changed a lot. That really made things a lot more three-dimensional and brought it a lot more into a closer, more believable space. And finally, just to even things out for my drawing, maybe let's put something here. So in the other one, I put a little potted plant. So I'll just do the same thing here. And I'll just draw, a cylinder. Just like we've done in those other ones. This is just a simple form. Now, there are ways of calculating this ellipse, this oval. But that's a lesson for another day. We don't want to give you too many, so I'm just going to eyeball it. Does that seem about right? Maybe. Good enough. I think that's probably good enough. Okay, and then just some sort of a little plant in here, and just so that I don't have to get too crazy drawing too much detail, I'll make it a very broad leafed sort of plant. Okay, good enough. Just a few scribbles just to show where my plant was. All right, and there it is. That's really kind of all my construction that I needed to do. Okay, and we've got a very believable interior space. So now, just like I did with this one here, I'm going to go ahead and outline the stuff, because in this illustration, that's okay. I don't mind having strong outlines in this. Just an exercise after all. Well, I hope it goes without saying, actually, before I make all those lines really dark, I'm going to erase all the other lines that I don't need. But there actually shouldn't be all that many lines, because we didn't have to take everything physically back to that point. So there's not that many guidelines that we have to erase first.